Thanks for staying with us. You are watching Standpoint. Now, there are 3 off-cycle elections that will hold this year. Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa. They've been scheduled for November the 11th by INEC. Now, let's turn attention to Kogi, especially where INEC has those who will be contesting that election are 22 candidates, and they're jostling for the governorship seats. The final list was published by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and signed by the acting secretary to the commission. The list shows that 22 candidates are to contest for the governorship seat alongside their deputies. But as usual, in Kogi, trouble is already brewing. The political tussle between the Kogi State Governor, Yahaya Bello, and the Social Democratic Party candidate, Muritala Yakubu Ajaka, is taking a new twist. There have been allegations of attack and even threat to life. But what does this mean for the people of Kogi State? Joining me now is Director New Media to the SDP governorship candidate, Isaiah Davis Ijeli. Good to have you join us, and he joins us from Abuja studio. So let me ask you, what exactly is at the heart of the, if I may call it, political crisis between Governor Yahaya Bello and your candidate? We know that they used to be political allies, but it looks like things have now turned sour.
Good afternoon once again. I don't think there is a problem between my candidate, the person of Alhaji Muritala Ajaka, and the Governor Yahaya Bello. Governor Yahaya Bello, for goodness sake, is not on the ballot. The person that is on the ballot today is the person of Ododo, so we don't have problem with Yahaya Bello. But I think Yahaya Bello is saying that there is somebody that can defeat his candidate, his preferred or adopted or selected candidate, and the only person that can defeat him is the person of Muritala Ajaka, who understands the anatomy, physiology, and everything that the geometrics of Kogi politics is the only person that understands it. And Yahaya Bello knows this. And you see, Yahaya Bello came to power on the platter of gold. He wasn't on the ballot in 2015. Only by the favor, or he was destined to be on that seat because of the late Audu. And he does not understand what is called acceptability with the people. My candidate is widely accepted. You can see for yourself yesterday in Ibaji, some few days in the central, in the west, he is widely accepted. So we are not struggling to sell my candidate to the people because of his antecedent. I challenge you today to call Ododo to a live show if he can defend himself for 30 minutes. If he can even defend himself for 5 minutes. But we have somebody that is an administrator that have gone through the process of what we call political understanding from one point to another. So it's not about, there is no personal issue. The only issue that I think Yahaya Bello is saying, the only person that have the popularity, that have the crowd, that have the people on the street that will defeat the incumbent is the person of Alhaji Muritala Yakubu Emmanuel. That is the only person because of what he has done. This is the man that single-handedly gave APC victory in the last election. Go and check out. Without Muritala Ajaka, there will not be APC. So I don't even see anything like an opposition because Yakubu Ajaka is APC. APC is Yakubu Ajaka. And because he left, in fact, he left on the condition that Yahaya Bello caused it. He caused the problem. And that is why you can see today in the whole of Kogi State, I dare you go and verify that there is no any billboard, no poster without Yahaya Bello. For goodness sake, are you on the ballot? You are not on the ballot. Why not allow Ododo? Because Ododo, in fact, I can challenge you, if election is conducted today, my candidate will defeat Ododo right in his polling unit. Even Yahaya Bello in his polling unit. That is a fact. Go and verify. because of the antecedent, because of he's a man of the people, he's a philanthropist, the man that has sold himself and widely accepted by the people of the West, the people of the East, and the people of the Central. So the issue is not personal. It is just that Yaya Bello have seen that there is a man, there is a young man, his preferred candidate that can defeat. I won't call it APC because APC has nothing to do with his preferred candidate. You can go back to check the primary. It was with a lot of violence, and then it ended up the way it is today. So in fact, it is difficult for Yaya Bello to sell his own candidate among his own kindred. He cannot sell his own candidate to his people. I'm sure by now he's already regretting that choice of Ododo. So he has to deal with the situation. He got to deal with his flower boy and leave our candidate alone. You see, if not for the federal intervention, my candidate would not be able to campaign, because if you are exhibiting that you are the governor of the state, you have so much power to stop opponents from campaigning. Why not stop all the insecurities and the killing and the kidnapping in the state? As I speak to you, about 6 local government and other states of insecurity. What have you done? So our candidate, my principal, has nothing to do with what is going on than victimization. And that is what is going on. Thank you very much, Precious.
All right, so let me ask you, you have said that there is no problem between your candidate and Governor Yahaya Bello, but you have continued to make allegations against him. And then I also want to ask you, why is it just your candidate? There are also other notable individuals in this race. Dino Milai is in this race. Leke Abejide is in this race. Usman Jibrin, who is also from Kogi East as your candidate, is also in this race. So why is it that it is your candidate that has been particularly attacked? Why just your candidate alone?
You see, Precious, I don't want to use my platform to say the candidates that are not sellable. Dino Melaye is not sellable. The person you mentioned his name, I will not want to give my platform to mention anybody. I don't think they have what it takes to defeat the incumbent. Listen, we are talking about the acceptability. Even Dino Melaye will lose election in his polling unit. In the last election, what was his performance in Kogi State? They were all in Kogi State when the APC swept all the local government. Through who? Through the architectures and the master plan of the person of Alhaji Yakubu Ajaka. So you cannot talk about unsellable candidate to an accepted candidate on the street. It is about acceptability. It is about the sellable candidate. It's about the person that is accepted and the Kogite have seen. This is the person that can save us. Listen to this. There is no any candidate among the name you mentioned that can withstand Yaya Bello. They cannot. If they can withstand Yaya Bello, let them show us their performance in the last election. Let them show us their performance both in the presidential and the governorship election in the 2023 election. You cannot see any record, any good record to their performance. But go and check out the person of Alhaji Muritala Ajaka single-handedly sponsored so many things with his personal money, to my understanding, to give APC victory. Without Muritala Yakubu Ajaka, APC in my local government cannot even get 2 votes. But he made it happen. This is the person that gave us all the light in the street of Kogi East. And so many places in the central are in the west. So we are talking about acceptability. We are talking about antecedent. So it's like comparing a shoe of 5,000 naira to a slippers of 200 that is not you don't need to market it before somebody will know these slippers worth 200 or 100 naira. But we are talking about somebody that want it, that the public accepted him, and they want him to be our next governor. So that is the case. So it's not a case about one political, why is he is special, because Yaya Bello knows that his candidate is going nowhere. And that in fact, let me tell you, the list of the candidate in 2023 election in Kogi State will defeat Ododo. The list of the candidate. Go and find out. This is the man that was in charge of the local government funds. He's the Auditor General in charge of the local government funds. And for your information, go and verify that no federal allocation for the local government that is going to the local government. Salaries are not being paid. And you see, Yaya Bello administration met this salary issue by the former PDP of Captain Wada, paying 65 to 70%. Now, Bello took over. And today, From 2015 to today, there is no improvement. It is rather going worse. And do you know how much they are collecting today? 25%, 15%. Now, look at the cost of living today. The inflation today with 2015, that they are even collecting 65, 70%. They voted PDP out of power because of percentage of salary. Listen, the civil service in Kogi State are going through what we call hell. Living on, in fact, it's like living in hell, living on earth. That is what they are going through. And you cannot have somebody that cannot solve the situation. You can't give what you don't have. You couldn't give them the life they deserve for 8 years. Now you are imposing somebody on them. And do you think they are going to let you go? They are not going to let you go. And for your information, my candidate, of course, he was in APC. But he was not part of the administration of Kogi State. But he's a party man, loyal party man from ACN, also part of the formation of the APC. He was part of it, even a licensing officer of the ACN to the APC. So you can see a consistency in a man that is ready to serve his people. And now the people are saying, come out and save us. Come and deliver us. If you are not in charge of the affair of the state, you were able to do this, you were able to do that. Why not come and rescue us? So that is where we are. So it is not about him. See, this movement, I kept saying it, is likened to that of Abiola in the 90s. That the people rose up and said, let there be change. That is what is happening. It's like that of obedient movement. At this point, even him, Alhaji Yakubu Muritala Ajaka, cannot say he will not do it. He cannot, because the people have made up their mind. So it is about the people. It is not about
just a minute. If your candidate is that popular, why are there defections from the SDP to the APC, as was reported?
Where have you seen that? What defection? The only defection that you have been seeing is the APC to SDP. Just 2 days ago, in Ogorimagogo local government, massive defection from the APC to PDP. Do you know the strategy of Yaya Bello is gathering the same people, the same fold of people, and call them the defecto APC? Can you defect from your own party to your own party? Those are jamborees and a media show. But on the ground, pressures go to the grassroots. Go to every street and every corner in Kogi State. My candidate cannot even stop 5 seconds anywhere without crowd gathering him. I dare Yaya Bello, I dare Ododo to walk on the street of Lokoja from Ghana Junction to the end of the bridge and see who will follow them. But let my candidate stop there in 5 seconds. You see, we are talking about people that are tired. The poverty in the state. If you go to some local government, you cry. I have been there. I was a past senatorial candidate in the 2022 general election. I moved around the state. I moved around the local government. I went to Bassa local government. I cried. I am telling you the reality of what is on ground. So this is not fiction. This is not imagination. This is not vision. And this is not dream. Reality. I am telling you practical that the things people are languishing in poverty and dying in pains. And they say they cannot continue because of my candidate that has single-handedly done so many things to get the state to where it is today, and they want to change. So it is not about anything you are seeing on television or on social media. It's not the reality. The reality on the ground is far from the propaganda of the APC in Kogi State.
All right, so you're in the opposition and you're expected to say that the governor hasn't done anything. I'm sure, supporters will also say that he has done a lot in Kogi State. But let me ask you, some have said that your candidate has not, what he has basically been doing is to play the victim card to whip up sentiment. He has not been able to say categorically what he wants to do for the Kogi State people, but just generally about playing the victim card. How do you respond to that?
Precious, as of today that I'm talking to you, our manifesto is out. We are not just talking on the air. We are not just speaking to the gallery. We are walking the talking. Our manifesto is out with 7-point agenda. And let me give you a brief of it. Because of my candidate is not just about playing a victim. Those are propaganda. It's about the vision, it's about the passion, it's about the vision, it's about the quest to change the of Kogi State. Let me tell you something. In our 7-point agenda, the first thing is security. Has Yaya Bello be able to solve the security problem in Kogi State? The answer is no. 6 local government, Omala local government, that is my own local government. Bagana, as I speak to you, Omagede, Ogba, those 3 communities are being overrun by bandits. As I speak to you, that community...
Isaiah, just give me 1 minute. I want to have a conversation with you. Some people will say, look, because you just mentioned security. For a long time, when there was a lot of attack in northern part of the country, whether it was north central or northeast and northwest, that Kogi State largely did not have any such attacks. And so they had given Governor Yahaya Bello some level of commendation in that regard, that Kogi did not suffer attacks while some of the other states in that region were suffering attacks.
That is not true. I am telling you, I am on ground. I am telling you from the reality on ground. You see, people give their analysis to what they see on paper and to the figure on ground. Listen to this. Just yesterday, a day before yesterday, somebody was killed in Omala local government in Abajikolo. Go and verify. Somebody was killed in the town. We have a situation where a bandit can walk into the town in local government headquarters with his AK-47 and move on the street unopposed, unchallenged, even by the police. A young woman was attacked on the street of Abejikolo just 2 days ago. She ran to the police station and nothing was done and nothing is done on it till today. Now go to Bassa local government Doma. It's a deserted town. It's like a ghost town. Yaya Bello is the commander of the security in that state. What have he done? Bassa people till today cannot sleep with their 2 eyes closed. The local government headquarters is deserted. If you go to that place, there is no time for me to start showing video on my phone. You will see what I'm talking about. We are talking about the reality of things. In fact, these are security issues that can be solved within 24 hours. I am telling you this, if Yaya Bello wants to solve those problems, it's about mounting security posts in those places. Some of these are community clashes that are extended to invite some mercenaries to assist them to defeat others. And we have cases of others that have gone to court, won their case from a customary court to even appeal court. But yet, they are forming what we call a cartel and hiring mercenaries and get other people. These are issues that could be resolved. Go to Yagba East today. I am telling you, some of the villages are taken over by bandits. What has Yaya Bello done? Go to Yagba West, the same thing. Go to Ogori Magogo, the same thing. This is, you see, the security in the east, as you say, I mean, in the north, as far north as you say, are serious security threats with Boko Haram and some of the eastern security network or whatever they call. Is it? I don't know. I can't remember their name. So these are people with heavy machineries, heavy artilleries. We are talking of people that are just carrying bow and AK-47 that even a truckload of army can disarm.
It's easy to say, look, within 24 hours you can fix this issue. Just let me come once again.
That is the case.
It's easy to say that within 24 hours you can fix this issue. Some states have been grappling with their issues for decades, and it has not been resolved. So I'm not sure security situations are that easy to deal with. But let me ask you about the just a minute. You will speak to it, but you will speak to it.
Let me put this to you.
I will let you respond.
Let me put this to you.
Isaiah, just hold on. I will let you respond. You will respond along these other questions. I was going to ask you about the credentials of your governorship candidate that qualifies him to contest for governorship election in that state. Answer that question along with what you were going to say earlier.
Can I go on? Can I talk now?
Oh, go ahead. Oh.
Okay. I couldn't hear you at the point. Okay, this is the case. You see, when you are talking about fixing the security problem in some of these villages and local government, we are not talking about a very big issue that cannot be handled, that cannot be contained. There are individuals that have been identified as a leader of some of these issues that could be tamed. There are some of these communities just need an army or mopo post to contain some of the excesses of the thuggeries activity in those communities. But when some of these petty issues are not being taken care of, then it is escalated to what we are seeing today. You understand the point? So it is not as if it's something that could not be taken care of. I tell you today, 2 loads of army, even 2 load trucks of mopo to some of this community will give them peace for the rest of their life. The problem is there is no presence of government. There is no presence of anything. On Mala local government, as I'm talking to you for the past 10 years, no light, no pipe on water, no security, nothing. And so many local government, Basa local government, the same thing. Part of the Kina, Oganenugu, the same thing. West, part of the central, the same thing. And you cannot keep quiet in this. And then our part of our 7-point agenda is the economy. You see, the peace and stability of any state is largely depend on their economy. Kogi State have everything it takes. And we are depending 70% of every expenditure on the federal government. It is not possible. We have a lot of mineral resources. And all those mineral resources are embedded in the state that they said, you see, the entrepreneurship mindset is zero. The ideology for investment by the state government is zero. Go to Kogi State today, you see a lot of hundreds of trailers of coal are moving every day. Trailers of cement, trailers of this, trailers of dye, all kinds of mineral resources. It's enough for we to tap into it and raise our IGR from where it is today. Precious, let me ask you, if you get back 8 years ago and the child is not working till now, are you going to still keeping the child? Won't you start going about and looking for a solution? Are you going to now ask the child to refer to you another child? He will not be able to take care. You will not be able to do it. That is the case we are. You cannot move us forward, and you are referring somebody to impose it on us. And my candidate say no. That is the case. And you spoke about the credential of my candidate. Of course, my candidate is qualified. He finished his secondary primary school and wrote his GCE, and also went to university part-time as an adult. So he qualified, and he can defend himself anywhere. Don't forget, the minimum qualification in our system is just a living school certificate. And my principal have gone above that. That is enough for him to qualify. And don't forget, this is the same person that was a liaison officer to the formation of the APC. This same Alhaji Muritala Ajaka was appointed as a special advisor to APC chairman, national chairman. I'm not talking of Kogi State chairman. I mean national chairman. Are you telling me somebody that is not qualified to run for governorship, it was qualified to be appointed as a special advisor to a national chairman of APC in 2020? Now, don't also forget, March 26 last year, in 2022, my candidate was also unopposed, elected as a deputy publicity secretary of the APC. So you see, he has played a very good role, and he has paid his due in APC. So you cannot say he's not qualified to run. Yaya Bello that is qualified, what have he done? Let's put it in that way. What have they done? They are in the charge of the state, in the state funds, and they run the affairs of the state. What have they done? See, let's go into the real things. Let's talk about the problem. Let's talk about the hunger in the land. Let's talk about the problem the people are facing. Now, part of our 7-point agenda is agriculture. Do you know that Kogi State has a landmass mass of 29,833? Go and find out. Bigger than all the states in the east combined together. How about Enugu is just 4,000 something? All the states in the east combined together. And with a lot of potential for agricultural produce. What are we doing? And we are still generating the same IGR, remaining in the same position, rotating in the same cycle. And you want the people to continue? They cannot continue. Then we talk about education. Listen to this. The education system in Kogi State, sorry to say it, is the worst in the country. There is some secondary school, they don't even have a building. We are talking, if local government does not get allocation, so why would the chairman used to pay salary to the primary school? How are they going to pay salary to the secondary
I'm very
school?
sure that
when the teacher are not going to farm to eat, those days teachers don't go to farm, they depend largely on their salary.
I do have to wrap. Just let me come in. I'm sure that the survey conducted by various organizations did not put Kogi as the worst in terms of education in the country, but I understand the point that you're trying to make. Thank you so much for talking to us. I'm sure that we'll have you over and over again.
That is on paper.
We have to wrap. I'm sure that we'll have you over and over again as the election approaches to discuss your 7-point agenda. Thank you so much for your time. Isaiah Davis Ejele, I want to get that correctly, the Director of New Media to the SDP governorship candidate. Thank you for talking to us.